Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Start with Derrick, where I help you to start right, grow right, and expand right. Now, I will start today's edition by saying a very big thank you to all of you for subscribing and for following this business channel. The feedback has been amazing, and thank you so much. It encourages me to push on further and then to share and pour out a lot from myself onto you. I know this channel is helping a lot of people that I don't even know, and that is the goal for starting this series. Now, on today's episode of Start with Derrick, I'm going to be talking about branding. Branding. Is it necessary for you to become a brand as a company? Is it necessary for you to grow yourself into a brand as a business? Do people really buy into your company because it's a company or because it's a brand? Now, when people are dealing with your company as you've started or as you're about to start, when people are dealing with your company, they hardly would remember the services that you render to them or the products that you sell to them. But people remember how you treated them. People remember how you made them feel. People remember how you responded to that email. People remember how you picked up the phone call when they called your office. People would remember how the experience is like on your website or on your online store. People would remember how your staff treated them. And this, in summation, all of these sum up to be the brand that we are talking about. In recent times, most people have forgotten about the real essence of a brand. Most people actually think it's about investing a lot into social media. Becoming a very strong brand on Instagram or on Facebook, and then that is it, that you become a brand. No, that is not a brand. That is, anybody can just build that. But the true power behind a brand is the perception. That is the first thing, the perception, and secondly, the promise. What is the perception that you want people to have about you? What is the thoughts that you want people to have when they come in contact with what you're selling or your company? You understand? And then the promise bit of it is basically what is the promise? What is the language? What is the message you are selling to people? What is that hidden treasure within your service or within your brand or within your company that you think people would possibly not get anywhere else but from you? That becomes the promise. And these are two very important things that drive a brand. You understand? Most people have thought of a brand as a brand is there. When they say your company's brand is nice, so they think it's about the logo or the colors or the way you dress and all of that. No, the brand is hidden. Is now like how goodwill is valued. Goodwill is not a tangible asset, it's an intangible asset. The brand is also now becoming an intangible asset, or is an intangible asset for your company, because people are going to come in contact with you because of the perception they've had about you, because of the thoughts they've had about you, because of how you make them feel each time they encounter you. And these are basic things that sum up to become what the brand of a company, or the brand that we are looking at you building yourself into, or you building your business into. So definitely you cannot build a company without thinking or focusing on building a brand. And building a brand takes time, it takes hard work, it takes you to be consistent, it takes you to be perseverant. It takes you to have a promise that you are selling, and then an end result of that promise becomes what the perception you want people to have about you whilst you are delivering that promise. So the whole thing about branding, or the whole thing about building a brand, starts with building or developing a brand promise. What is the promise that you are giving your customers or the followers of your company? What is that hidden treasure that you are actually selling within your services or your products, which is not immediately open to bear for everybody to see, but becomes a hidden treasure that you're actually selling. What is that brand promise? So it's very important for you to have a brand promise before you even start building a brand, because it's with the promise that you actually build something. Okay, we are promising you, for example, if you take a luxury brand like Chanel, they are promising luxury. You understand? Exclusivity. If you take brands like Coca-Cola, they are sharing happiness. You know, you should have some sort of feeling once you drink Coca-Cola, or once you come in contact with any of their products, and that is the promise that they are selling. So now the first thing about branding that I'm talking about on this episode is developing a brand promise. Now, if you look at the previous episodes that we've done, I've taught you how to develop a statement of purpose, how to develop your mission, and then your vision. Now the brand promise comes from the summation of all of these three. Do you understand? So if you've looked at the reason why you've started a business, you've looked at the kind of people that would need what you have. You understand? You look at the reason why you are selling the product or the service that you're selling, and then what you hope to become. Then now, what is the promise? Because the promise is the message that sticks in the minds of your consumers or your customers or your clients. You understand? That is the message that you are actually selling. So there's a need for you to develop the brand promise so that people would know the reason why this company is developing or evolving into a brand without them even noticing it. You understand? People need to know that, I mean, this is a place that we can have a connection to. That is why people feel comfortable buying an Apple product, because well, some people, because of the kind of promise that Apple gives. It gives some sort of luxury and some sort of durability, you know, and that is the promise that they're actually selling with their product, and it is evident in the product. So aside developing the brand promise, you must make sure that whatever you are selling becomes evident, you know, that there is a promise. So what is the promise of your business? What is the promise you are giving your consumers? What is the promise you are giving your stakeholders? What is the promise you are giving your investors, your partners? You understand? What is the promise that you are selling with your business that you've started, or with the company that you are currently running? It's very, very important for you to develop a brand promise. Now, in the next episode, I'm going to delve more deeper into branding. You know, now we've talked about the brand promise. The next episode, I'm going to talk about, I mean, developing the brand perception. You understand? And then now we can go on to how to even let your logos and then your colors reflect of your mission, your vision, your statement of purpose, your brand promise, and the brand perception. Right? Thank you so much for joining me on this episode, and please leave your comment and your questions down below. I'll answer them accordingly and respond to each one of you accordingly. Until then,